104.5 The Team, Levac here, and we've got our Carolina Panthers insider covering the Panthers for Fox 46 in Charlotte, Josh Sims. Josh, of course, used to be on 10 right here in the Albany area, so we appreciate you making time for your old hometown while you're in your new hometown. The storm is the story as of right now. How will it affect this game on Sunday?
Well, the thing about it is it shouldn't really affect the game itself on Sunday. It's supposed to stop snowing / sleeting or whatever is coming down right now. It's kind of a mess. But it's supposed to stop by tomorrow morning. There's a tarp on the field right now. There are crews out there shoveling the snow in the stadium. And by game time, it's supposed to be around 45 degrees, supposed to be cleared up, good to go. And the field should be fine. It's covered up. So as far as the game itself, everything should be good Sunday. Preparation changes just a little bit. I mean, the Panthers moved up their practice about an hour today, but they were still out there in the snow. Like, it's kind of funny because the guys were having a ball out there just practicing in the snow. Like, a lot of these guys, like Cam Newton grew up in Georgia. Like, he didn't grow up around snow, but he was having a ball out there. There was a smile on his face the whole time. But one of the quotes during, the press conference today was with Rivera is the weather may change, but we don't. And that means they're not changing anything with their preparation. They're still ready to go. They got in everything they basically needed to do. And today was about fine-tuning some things, and tomorrow's a walkthrough, and they're basically got everything in place. So their preparation, the game shouldn't really be affected for Sunday.
Josh Sims joining us. And, Josh, we saw two different Panthers teams last week, the 31-0 first half and the, we're not even going to play the second half, basically. Which Panthers team do you expect to see this week?
Well, it's funny because the 31-0 first half team, the guys were saying that's the most complete half they played in the season. And in the second half, when you look at it, they were like, look, hey, man, this is the NFL. This is tough. You were playing a team that was playing for their lives. And the Seahawks aren't a bad team. Like, they were going to score. They were going to make a run. And at the same time, you got to realize when you're up 31-0, no matter what you say about keeping your foot on the gas, there's always a tendency to let up. Mentality always changes. And the guys were saying, don't look too much into that second half let up because they still know what's at stake. They know what they have to do, and they were thankful they got up 31-0. But I think it's just one of those things that's just a natural occurrence among players to kind of have a letdown, giving you the perception that this team is more of that 31-0 first half team as opposed to that second half team. And you had to figure that was going to be a close game. Take away those early two touchdowns. It was going to be a close game regardless, and I think we're going to see a close game again this weekend. I don't think you're going to see a blowout. I think that's just the way the game kind of played out last week. But, the first half is more of an idea of what this team should be.
Jared Allen's now out for this Sunday. How will this defense try to fill up his spot?
Well, the thing about it is Ron Rivera is saying today they're going to start Tony Ely in his place, and if you look at it earlier this season when Charles Johnson went down, Tony Ely stepped in. This is before they even, made the trade and got Jared Allen. Tony Ely was playing well. They were looking good on the ends. They had another guy that they signed off another practice team, DeClaire, I think is his name, and he had stepped in and played well as well. I mean, they have depth at that position. And what they're kind of banking on is that if they can get this win and they can get Jared Allen healthy and get to the big game, he'll be good to go, or he'll be able to play more. But they have depth at that position for a reason, and there was no panic with Jared Allen being ruled out. There was no woe is me, what are we going to do? It's this next man up mentality that they've had all year long, that they know the guys step in and play well, and they've been doing it from the defensive line all season long, and they just know that next guy steps up and they have confidence they'll step in and play well.
Josh, people who believe the Cardinals have a chance to win this game think that Carson Palmer and those wide receivers can shred that secondary. Injury updates, anything that would lead you to believe they might be right?
Well, the thing about it is, and it goes back to the line, the most important thing for the Panthers is that defensive line, because you got to put the pressure on Carson Palmer, not giving him time to be able to get out to his wide receivers. I mean, when you look at it, you got, McLean, who's been starting a couple of games for the Panthers for the last couple, but, he's not necessarily a lockdown corner. And then they've been exposed a little bit with Cortland Finnegan, and with good reason. I mean, he was retired when the season started. He came out of retirement to play. So there's maybe a reason why he's not as up to step as you would expect them to be. And then you have Josh Norman, and we all know what Josh Norman can do. And that's why all the other positions are so important, because, the media and other people have said if you can expose this team, it's with their secondary. But the reason that hasn't been a problem is because the linebackers, the defensive line, are able to get that pressure so that maybe those weaknesses aren't exposed. But, going into this game, those guys, Norman and Cortland Finnegan, McLean, they'll be out there. They're healthy and good to go. It's just a matter of what the linebackers will do to make sure that the secondary doesn't get exposed.
Josh Sims, he covers the Panthers for Fox 46 in Charlotte. Follow him on Twitter at JoshFox46. Josh, Ron Rivera spoke today. He say anything that we really need to know about?
No, it was basically that this team is ready to capitalize on the opportunity ahead of them. It's one of those things where people want to talk. You're this close to that ultimate step of getting to the Super Bowl, but if you don't go out and take care of business on Sunday, then that doesn't mean anything. So this team is focused. He's saying they had one of their sharpest practices today, which is surprising because of the conditions. He made a point to point out that nothing changed with practice other than the fact that his whistle actually froze. So he wasn't able to use that for half of the practice. But he was saying on the offensive side of the ball that they did not drop a single ball on the offensive side of the ball, which is kind of surprising with the conditions out here. But he was saying about, when they're running through, I guess, their game prep, you have about 20 to 25 passes. All of them were caught, which, with the way it was snowing sideways, you think, how does that happen? But that just shows how focused the team is regardless of the conditions. And he was happy with the practice today. He seems the team's focused. They have the right mindset, and they're ready to go. And that's really what you want to hear on the Friday before a big game like this one on Sunday.
All right, Josh, let's get your prediction. What happens this Sunday?
I think it's a close one. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I'm going to say 34-28 Panthers.
Ooh, I like it. With weather down there that you're about to get, it's good that you've been up in the Capital Region. You're probably more prepared than anyone else.
Exactly. I kind of look at all the people around here that are freaking out and shake my head like you guys don't know the half of it.
Josh Sims, formerly of Channel 10 up here, now covering the Panthers for Fox 46. Josh, thanks so much for your time, and good luck to your Panthers.
Yep, no problem. Take care, guys.